By the end of this session, you will be confident in performing essential Excel operation like edit, manipulate and manage data in Excel. These skills are highly useful whether you are preparing reports, analyzing data, or working on spreadsheet for academic projects or professional documentation. Let us begin with one of the most fundamental skill like entering data in Excel. In any spreadsheet, before we can work with number, text or formulas, we must place the data correctly into the cell. In Excel, the location where you type is referred to as active cell, which is visually indicated by a thick green border. The selecting the active cell is as simple as clicking it with your mouse. Once a cell is active, you may type any form of data. It could be a text, numerical value or dates. An important point to note is that as you type, your input is simultaneously visible in two places. One is directly inside the active cell and another in the formula bar, which is located above the worksheet area. This dual display is particularly helpful when entering longer piece of text or more complex formulas, as it allows you to monitor the entire entry clearly. When your input is complete, by pressing the enter key will move the selection down to the next cell in the same column, or while pressing the tab key will shift the selection to the next cell in the same row. This behavior makes it easily to enter a data in a structured fashion, particularly when filling large tables. Next, editing data in Excel. Once data is entered, it is common to make corrections or adjustments. Excel offers two primary methods for editing. The first is override, where you select the cell containing the existing data and simply begin typing the new content. This completely replaces the old value of data. And second method is in-place editing, which is particularly useful for minor changes. You can double click directly on the cell to position the cursor within its content, or select the cell and then place the cursor in a formula bar to make changes. This allows you to adjust only a part of content without having to retype the entire data. Let us look at three most commonly used commands in Excel, that is cut, copy and paste. These features are helpful when organizing and managing data in spreadsheet. The cut command, which can be activated using the keyboard shortcut Ctrl plus X, which is used when you want to move a content from one cell or range to another location. When data is cut, it is temporarily stored in a special area of computer memory, which is known as clipboard. Once you paste the data into a new location, the original cell will be cleared. This is particularly useful when data has been entered in a wrong place and need to be repositioned. For example, if a student marks have been entered under the wrong subject column, then the cut command allow you to relocate to a correct column without having to retype. The cut action can also be performed by right clicking on the selected cell and choosing cut from the context menu, or by using the cut button which is found on the home tab of the ribbon button. Next, we will see copy command. The copy command is activated with the Control C, works in a similar to cut command, but without removing the original content. This make it ideal for creating a duplicate of data in multiple locations. So copying is also useful for replicating formats, heading or label across several worksheets. So like cut command, copy can also be accessed through right click menu or from the ribbon button, or also keyboard shortcut, that is Control plus C. So next, the paste command, which is initiated with the Control plus V shortcut, which places the cut or copied data into a active cell or range. Excel paste functionality is highly versatile and extend beyond simply inserting text or numbers. The standard paste command can be enhanced through paste options, which appear as small icon after pasting. This option allows you to paste values only, that is removing formulas and keeping only the result. And next option, paste formulas, retaining the original formulas and adjusting cell reference as necessary. Next, paste formats, applying only the cell formatting without altering the data. Transpose, switching rows into column or column into row. And next we have paste special option. In that, a dialog box that offers advanced features such as adding, subtracting, multiplying or dividing the pasted values, or pasting only specific elements like commands, data validation rules or borders. Another important point is that cut, copy and paste work not only within the same worksheet but also across different worksheets and even across different Excel books. Additionally, these functions can be used between Excel and other applications such as Word or PowerPoint to enable seamless data integration in reports and presentations. Next, we will see undo and redo operation in Excel. Everyone makes mistakes and Excel gives you quick option to correct them through the undo and redo commands. These are powerful tools to help you work with confidence, knowing you can easily reverse or repeat any actions. The undo command, which can be used by pressing Ctrl plus Z, takes back your last action. This could be removing the text you just typed, reversing a formatting change, or bringing back data you deleted by mistake. Excel also remembers more than just one action. You can keep pressing Ctrl plus Z to undo several steps one after another in reverse order. Next, redo command, which can be used by pressing Ctrl plus Y, which does the opposite to the undo operation. It brings back an action you just undid. For example, if you used undo and then realize you actually want to keep that changes, redo will restore it instantly. Just like undo, You can use redo multiple times to go forward through your recent action. Both undo and redo are also shown in a quick access toolbar at the very top left corner of Excel as two curved arrow icon. Undo points to the left and redo points to the right. You can click this icon if you prefer using mouse instead of the keyboard. Next, autofill in Excel. Autofill is one of the best time-saving tool in Excel spreadsheet. It helps you quickly fill a series of value or repeat a pattern without typing everything manually. When you click on a cell in Excel, you will notice a small square in the bottom right corner of the selection. So this is called the fill handle. To use autofill, you simply click and hold the fill handle, then drag it down a column or across the row. Excel will automatically fill the next cell based on the pattern it recognizes. For example, if you type 1 and drag, it will create a number series like 2, 3, 4, etc. If you type Monday and drag the fill handle, Excel will fill in like Tuesday, Wednesday, and so on. And also if you type 2, 4 and then drag, the Excel may detect that you want to increase by 2, then the series would be 2, 4, 6, 8 and so on. Autofill is also works with dates, month and even custom list that you create yourself. Another related feature in Excel is flash fill, which can detect pattern in the way you are entering data and fill the rest automatically. For example, splitting a full name into first and last names. Imagine you have a list of names in column A such as Ravi Kumar, Meena Sharma, Arjun Nair, like that. In column B, you type Ravi, that is the first name from the first entry. In column C, you type Kumar, that is the last name from the same entry. Excel will automatically fill first name for the rest of the data by using flash fill function, or press Ctrl plus E to apply it instantly. You can repeat the same process in column C for the last name. Flash fill will detect the pattern that everything after the space is the last name and fill the remaining cell for you automatically. This is an excellent way to quickly separate data without having to use complex formulas. Now let us look at how we can highlight a cell in Excel. When you talk about highlighting, it is simply means making certain data more visible by changing its background color. This is especially helpful when you having a large set of data and you want to quickly find the value that matters most. The first method is manual highlighting. This is the simplest approach. You just select the cell you want to draw attention, go to Home tab, click on the Fill Color button, that's the paint bucket icon, and choose a color which you want. For example, you may use yellow for mark something important, or green to show correct entries, or red to mark errors. This is useful when you already know exactly which cell you want to highlight. But Excel also give a smarter option called conditional formatting. This makes Excel automatically change the appearance of a cell based on rules we set. You don't have to go and color the cell yourself. Excel will do it for you. Let us give an example to how conditional formatting can be used in a real situation. Imagine we have a student mark list and we want Excel to automatically highlight all the students who have scored less than 35 marks. Here how we can do it. First, select the entire column that contains the marks. Next, go to the Home tab and click on Conditional Formatting. From the menu, choose Highlight Cell Rules and then select Less Than. A small box appears there. You can type the number 35 because that is our pass mark. Then choose a red fill color from the formatting option. Then finally click OK. Now Excel will automatically check every value in that column, and whenever it finds a score less than 35, it will highlight it in red color. The best part is this works dynamically. If I update the mark and change it from 30 to 40, the red highlight will disappear automatically because the score is no longer below 35. Next, we will see find and replace in Excel. When working with large dataset in Excel, searching for specific information manually can take a lot of time. The find and replace features make this process fast and accurate. The find feature is used to locate specific text or number or even formulas within a worksheet or an entire workbook. It can be opened using the shortcut key, that is Ctrl plus F, or through the Home tab under Find and Select. Once the Find window is open, the required text or value can be typed into the Find What box. Clicking option reveals additional control such as searching within the current sheet or the entire workbook, searching by rows or by columns, and choosing whether to look in formulas, displayed values, or comments. They are also setting to match the exact case of letter or to match the entire cell content exactly. When find next is used, Excel moves to each occurrence one by one. The find all option provides a complete list of all matches along with their locations, which can be useful for quick navigation. Next, the replace features goes one step further. It is opened with a shortcut Ctrl plus H or from the same find and select menu. In addition to finding content, it allows the replacement of that content with something new. The replace with box is used to specify the updated value. By selecting replace, changes the current match while replace all changes every occurrence within the selected range or sheet in one action. This is especially useful for updating outdated term, correcting repeated errors, or making bulk changes to data. Next, we will see inserting rows, columns, and sheet in a spreadsheet. Let us start with inserting a single cell. Suppose there is a table and a new values need to be placed between two existing entries. The cell is selected where the new data should go. By inserting Excel will ask whether to shift the surrounding cell to a right or shift them down. Choosing shift right moves all cell in that row one step over, while shift down pushes the cell below into the next row. This makes space exactly where it's needed without overwriting other information. Next is inserting an entire row. This is useful when a full horizontal space is required for new entries. To do this, the row number on the left hand side is selected. Once inserted, all rows below will move down by one position. For example, if row 5 is selected, the new row will appear above it. This method ensures the new data aligns perfectly with the existing columns. So the shortcut key for inserting new row is Control plus Shift plus symbol. Similar to the inserting a row, another feature in Excel is inserting an entire column. A column letter is selected and inserting will place a new column to the left of that position. All columns to the right are shifted over to make space. This is helpful when more vertical space is needed in the table. The same shortcut, that is Control plus Shift plus can be used here when a column is selected. Finally, there is an option to insert a new sheet into the workbook. This is especially useful for keeping different sets of data separate. A new sheet can be added by clicking the plus icon next to the existing sheet tab at the bottom of the screen. Excel will name it automatically, but it can be renamed by double clicking the sheet tab. The shortcut key for inserting a new sheet is Shift plus F11. Next, we will see how to insert an object and external data in a spreadsheet. Excel is not just a tool for numbers and formulas. It is also capable of handling visuals and special characters that make a worksheet more attractive. Let us start with inserting pictures and clipart in the worksheet. Under the Insert tab on the ribbon, there is an option to add image directly into the worksheet. By selecting pictures, allows a file from the computer to be chosen. Once inserted, the pictures appear right on the sheet and can be moved or resized as you needed. In newer version of Excel, online pictures provides direct access to stock image and clipart from the web. Next, shapes, frames, and smart art can also be inserted in Excel. Shapes can be found under insert and shapes and include any shapes which you want. It may be a rectangle, circle, arrows, and many more. After placing a shape, it can be formatted using the Format tab to change color, outline, or effects. For more structured visual, Smart Art is ideal one. This feature allows the creation of organizational charts, process flows, and diagrams. And another useful feature is the ability to insert external files directly into the worksheet. This is done through the Insert tab by selecting Object in the text group. In the dialog box, the option like Create from File is chosen and the file is selected whether it is a PDF, Word document or any other type can be embedded. If display as icon is enabled, the files appears as an icon rather than showing its contents in the sheet, keeping the layout clean while still providing access to the documents. Excel also supports symbols and special characters that go beyond what is available on the standard keyboard. These are often needed for technical, academic, or financial data. The symbol option is found in the Insert tab, usually on the far right side of the sheet. This opens a dialog box with a library of characters. Choosing a font like Arial or Arial Unicode MS like this, we have a range of options like currency symbol and mathematical operators, arrows and special icons. So some of the commonly used symbols which include degree sign, angles, currency symbols like rupees, dollar or euro for financial reports. Selecting a symbol and clicking insert, place it directly into the chosen cell where it becomes a part of the content. Moving beyond visual, Excel also import data from external source, that is a features that essential when working with real world data sets. Instead of manually typing large amount of information, the get data or get external data option on the data tab allows a direct connection to a file or a database. The data can be imported from another workbooks or from CSV or text file or Excel access database or SQL server or even from website. Importing external data is particularly valuable when the source file is updated regularly, because Excel can be set up to refresh the data automatically. Next, we will see inserting a function in a workbook. We have learned how to work with data. Let us unlock one of the Excel superpower, that is called function. The functions are pre-built formulas that performs calculations. So every formula start with a equal sign. So functions are like ready-made formulas that saved your time and effort. Instead of typing a long calculation, You can simply call a function, give it the input, and Excel does the rest. For example, if I want to add numbers in cell A1 to A5, I don't need to write A1 plus A2 plus A3 and so on. I just type equal to sum A1 through A5 and press enter. Excel will automatically do the calculation. Let's try inserting a function step by step. First, click on the cell where you want the result to appear. Then go to the formula tab on the ribbon and click on the insert function, that is the little fx icon on the left. A dialog box appears. Here you can either search for a function you need or browse through category like math and trigonometry, logical, text, date and time, or lookup and reference. Once you pick a function, Excel will guide you through entering required arguments. Just fill them, then click OK, and your result will appear instantly. Some common function that students and teachers find useful are sum for total marks, average for average scores, max and min for highest and lowest marks, if for pass or fail results, count for counting students, and VLOOKUP is used for fetching data from another table. And here a quick tip: if you just want quickly add a list of numbers, you can use AutoSum function, the one with the summation symbol. By select your data, then click AutoSum. The Excel will instantly calculate the total. Now let us do a small example. Suppose I have a list of students and their marks. I want to know if each student passed or failed. In the result column, I type equal if the marks greater than or equal to 35 means pass, else fail, and press enter. Then I simply drag the formula down and Excel will automatically calculate each student's result. So remember, functions are your shortcut to powerful calculations, and they make your work in Excel for just easier and also be smarter. Next, a manual page break in Excel. Sometimes when we prepare a spreadsheet for printing, Excel automatically decide where to split the data onto the next page. While this is fine in many cases, but it can be a problem for long tables or reports, especially if you want to control exactly how the printed pages look like. This is where manual page break is useful. A page break simply tells Excel where one printed page should be end and where the next should begin. By default, Excel insert these breaks automatically based on paper size, margins, and scaling. However, we can override Excel and insert our own breaks to get a cleaner and more professional print layouts. For example, let's say we have a mark sheet for 50 students. If I want only 25 rows to appear on the first page and the rest on the second page, then we can insert a manual page break right after row 25. That way the split will be exactly where we want it. So how do we insert a manual page break? It's very simple. First, click anywhere in the row or column where you want the break to occur. Then go to the page layout tab on the ribbon, click on the break, and from the drop down menu choose insert page break. Excel will instantly show a horizontal or vertical blue line indicating the page boundary. The manual page breaks work best in page break preview mode because you can clearly see how your pages are split. To switch to this view, go to the View tab and click Page Break Preview, or you can also click the small Page Break Preview icon which is present at the bottom right of the Excel window. In this view, Excel shows you exactly where the page breaks are placed. The blue lines represent page boundaries and you can click and drag them to reposition the breaks wherever you want. This gives you total control over how your data is divided across printed pages.